remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the... we can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello there.
Huh, so you two are still hanging out together. Dear...
I said I was going to resign from being her boss. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. They're
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs. If my parents were delighted. They even said that
That sounds like something they would say. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten her.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dish...
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would... There are so many places I still have...
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take...
Oh, come on. Not this again.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me...
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, have you been delaying our trip because you've run into...
Nah, are you kidding?
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me.
Oh, looks like doing...
You're too perceptive, my lady. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends.
My lady... All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they...
Deshret's relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ein. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though...
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a real... Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led...
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now.
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violence.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans...
That's beyond terrible.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that if I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aruville... I just wish I...
Yeah. How can your father...
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then he was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his... Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. They're...
Sounds like a night...
What about your mother?
Unfortunately...
Oh,
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was... He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And he'd say, you'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad. But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries.
Sounds like your typical...
More or less, yeah. They were interesting, maybe the first. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that even the toys he gave me would all be story props. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were...
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. Until I grew up and learned the true face of looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect... Yeah. I told the boys to gather as much information as they could.
I see. But isn't the...
It is, but every mercenary lives...
That may be true, but it'll be impossible.
Well, now you get...
What should we do? They both have valid...
Huh? But there's no need...
Well, he's super tough, so if he went...
I'm inclined to agree. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then.
All right, then let's get moving. Our
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Likewise. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, they've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, they even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot, a portion of their profits is immediate.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so... A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade, rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard more.
Wait, a pow...
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims, if their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics is a...
it sounds mighty strange to me too. Harun, gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover...
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more danger?
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, any survivors of the attack were already long gone.
Ah, Hisham and Khala.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest...
Hey, what about Paimon?
Oh, you're also...
Of course! Paimon is the Traveler's most...
Oh, in that case...
Don't underestimate...
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that'll...
I had no idea.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to...
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few...
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in...
Hey, didn't we agree to never...
Huh? Wait, are you serious? What have
I don't...
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that.
All right. We can tell you about...
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they...
More. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. Hey, knuckleheads, can you at least...
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our... It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all...
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. Ah, here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly. Buckle up! Huh. Cha. Illusion shattered!
This may hurt a little.
No more. You want this one? Take that!
Let's light it up!
Everyone hold hands.
Let's get it on! Ha! Ha!
Where do you think you're going?
Ha! Ha!
Take my leave. You're... the flake?
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little...
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to...
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're... Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how...
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep.
But why would he...
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but...
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him. There are lots of goods around here.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on...
Let me take a look. If this Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of... This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds, that person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which... Wait, why is there no Mora value?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as, perhaps. But they Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon?
Homayani?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first... Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. But what this piece of paper
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebot or Port Ormos. Yeah, funding violence and looting.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no... I've been to their estate many times, and I've never... The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for... But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora. You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she would...
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If you ask me, we already... I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her... If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs.
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need...
I've considered that possibility. But even still, she showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunya.
Yeah. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected.
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that...
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in this...
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little... dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been... Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's not...
So something is wrong. Even the on any other day, Paimon would have already waved... So
My lady, please prepare...
The Master. Okay. I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll let... My father... has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having... Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story, and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell... In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dia?
About that. Well, the Homayanis later, the master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever He offered me a pile of mora, so
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar,
You mean the Goal
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut.
but that still doesn't rule out the possibility that
So the master was not likely an innocent victim in.
Sorry we put all this on you so
It's okay, Paimon. I should regardless of his reasons, if my father has true.
But is that my father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that. However, the Homayani family is treated. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire.
Tia.
It's all right, Dia. If anyone were to ask,
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again? Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a. In which case, my lady,
sure thing. I also hope he'll.
Usual?
thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the
Yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention.
So, that's what you found. Huh.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an.
Well, it's a long and what I do know, though, dear, is that the truth...
Wait.
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see, but knowledge always comes at a price. And sometime, your father Kusela and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you... If you must proceed.
His heartfelt. I've made it this far in life without a single I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people in I came here today to support you as the head.
I understand. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. Those Eremites were Kusela's. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by—
Really?
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. We started talking about our children and to repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out.
So, that's...
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be... I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts.
So he was the one who...
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach. If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to... Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter.
He was always like that. Acting like he's oh so...
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but eventually I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. The letter contained a request to help him, but...
Wait! Isn't that around the time that the...
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, that thought occurred to me as well. I figured that After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me...
If you can, please tell me where he... None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in it. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have...
Oh, no.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. I don't know, but I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between... I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his... However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He's responsible for supplying I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and...
Understood. Thank you, sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, my father has indeed done something wrong, but I feel like our only course of...
Yes. It's time to face my mistake.
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take... This place should do. All right. Back to my question.
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun.
So what's in it for you, and
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating to. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice... They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though, it's not...
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one...
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not...
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Tia, why are you here?
Shine down!
committed to memory. Let's change tactics.
Let's get it on! Useless. Look alive! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Useless. I'm going in. Let's get it on. Buckle up! Hi! Gloves off!
Oh, she's so...
Enough fighting. We all know each other. Just bring Kusela to me. Did you understand a single word I just...
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down. Dia, he died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though.
When did he die?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's relics must...
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the relic...
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority.
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own, regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit. The records serve both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material. That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, but you, Dia. You were never asked to provide a record.
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it...
And that's why he became a shell of himself and
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wound? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair...
So, even the blaze...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew...
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Dakan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters strength. It's given us the opportunity, even though we're outnumbered. We vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rain. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people... We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. Even Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now...
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, as for me, I never considered myself. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines... I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You wanna...
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. All I know is that Deshret's Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, Paimon feels like we'd only regret...
Thank you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this.
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look...
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know.
Who cares? We'll round up all.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still...
Yeah. We'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but they're...
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here.
Let's get it on! Ha! Illusion shattered!
Hey!
There is no escape!
No life lasts forever.
Regret.
I'll take my...
The dead meat! Buckle up!
Take that! I'll take my lead. I'll take my lead.
Look alive!
Off the jungle! Try to keep up!
Shine down!
Tricks up your sleeve!
Gloves off!
I'm getting sick of this.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any trap!
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things are...
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it—
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being...
Okay, let's go!
Buckle up! Ha! Boring! Ha! Look alive! Hi! Huh! Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
You're dead meat! Illusion shattered! You ain't messing around! Let's light it up! Useless! Evil conquering! Here! Worthless! Here! Worthless! Here!
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our
Don't waste your breath.
Run. Had I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics, even now, the greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! They are but two, while we... Wave 1! Charge! Eliminate them!
Get on! Now you shall perish! Shine down! Buckle up! Hi! You're dead meat!
Don't think that you've won. We're just getting started.
Useless!
Now you're testing my patience. Gotcha.
Here!
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Detached from the world. Let's get it on! You asked for it!
Pulverize!
Go in there! Why do they never miss?
Now you're testing my patience.
You ain't messing around!
I'm getting sick of this game.
Disappear! Worthless! Worthless!
Brothers! With me, This is where we'll prove our faith.
You all just wanna die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Shoot! I can't afford any more bandages. Everybody stand back! Couldn't break the curse. Where do you think you're going? You're dead meat!
Sand, your sacrifice is ready.
You ain't messing around! Look alive! Where do you think you're going?
Evil conquering! Worthless!
The golden slumber.
The commander has finally fallen!
But they're still coming at. This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw. I'm going to see if I can take out.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight.
So,
Time to pay for everything you've...
I will be buried in the sand alongside.
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating.
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Desh...
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple? Hey, Have you ever heard of a man by the name of
Why would I know?
This is your last.
Hey, I said I don't. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to other. Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? Kusela. Ah, yeah. Watch your mouth. That's our boss here. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us, tell me, where is the.
It's just over there. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with the. If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able. I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around.
Is this a cane? It must be the.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if...
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would, and Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash. Hey, come on! Paimon's not that stingy. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very... My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook, but when everything came to an end, those emotions also... It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, we're hypocrites. All of us. Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped. Huh?
Paimon will explain. A lot.
I'm sorry. I really
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
Dia, you're
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing, my father probably thought that people could settle. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play, even if the ending of the story may be childish.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's... Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about...
Right. You said you wanted to get a...
We'll come along too.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get... What is it? Have you... Why'd you jump up?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for help. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be—
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias. And I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver—
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just
stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't
Oh, this rug here is quite something.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can— Wait, are you here to take
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar, but when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, one of the injured members gave this box to me. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or—
So this box contains everything that Dia's father—
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with it— But let's see what's in— What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Kinda
Perhaps it's just been left unopened.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The package—
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of— Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, a wool scarf, which, from the looks of it, probably belonged to a woman. And I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably— 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys.
Huh? There's something in the—
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it to Dia. It's all right. I'll just read it out. If you went to the trouble of writing a letter—
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether... But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at him.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad. The reason being that...
Wait, what?
Surely,
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called... Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teen... But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny, but your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them. Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's... In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child, I suppose. Or I would have suffocated under the sand.
he was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't...
Yeah. It's just a...
Do you already have some idea?
I do. If he first I just have one wish. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by